Netherlands and United States using the Hofstede cultural dimension. In this scenario, I've been selected for a 6-month study abroad internship at a marketing communication firm in Netherlands. Throughout this presentation, I'll compare the cultural values for both countries, explain how these differences affect communication in the workplace, and discuss strategies for communication effectively with Dutch colleagues. Before comparing these two countries, it's important to understand the Hofstede's cultural dimension. This framework was developed by Hofstede to explain how national culture influence people value behavior and workplace. This model consists of 6 dimensions and that measures 6 different aspects of culture, including attitude towards authority, teamwork, competition, uncertainty, long-term planning, personal freedom. Understanding these dimensions help explain why communication styles vary across cultures and why approaches that work in one country does not work effectively in another country. Netherlands versus United States. This slide provides a comparison of Hofstede's score for both countries. As you can see, Netherlands and United States share several similarities. Both are relatively low power distance and very high individualism, which means they both value equality and individ, personal independence. However, there are also some small major differences. The Netherlands scores much lower on masculinity, which means that society places greater importance on cooperation and work life balance rather than competition. The Netherlands also has much higher long term organization, showing the stronger force on planning for future and sustainable success. These differences influence how people communicate, make decisions, and work together in a professional environment. Long distance. My fourth slide talks about power distance. This means how comfortable people are with unequal distribution of power in society and organizations. Both Netherlands and United States have relatively low power distance scores, although the Netherlands scores even lower in Dutch workplaces. Managements usually view as equal. Managers are generally viewed as equal rather than authoritatively figures. Employees are encouraged to express their opinions and ask questions, and participants in decision making, and regardless in their position. While American organizations are also fairly open, managers often retain more authority in making final decisions. During my internship, I would feel comfortable in contributing ideas while still respecting everyone's opinion. Individualism, the second I mentioned. Both countries score very high on individualism, which means value the people value independence, personal responsibility, and self-growth. In United States has one of the highest individual scores in the world. Netherlands is also individualism, but it balances individuals with cooperation and social responsibility. In practice, this means Dutch employees are expected to contribute in their own ideas while also working collaboratively towards a common goal. Masculinity versus femininity. This dimension responses on one of the biggest differences between these two countries. United States has a much higher masculinity score, meaning success, competition, achievements, and recognitions are highly valued. In Netherlands, however, it's considered one of the world's biggest feminism cultures. Dutch society places greater importance on cooperation, equality, quality of life, maintaining a healthy work-life balance rather than competition comparing each other's co-workers, and employees focus on working together to achieve the best outcome. Everyone during my internship, I would focus on collaboration instead of trying to stand out as an individual. And certainly, this means how comfortable people are with uncertainty changes in risk. Netherlands scores slightly higher rather than United States, which means Dutch organizations certainly prefer planning, preparation, and clearly defines progress. However, they are still flexible enough to adapt with circumstantiation changes, and Americans tend to be slightly more comfortable while taking risk and making quite quick decisions. To, s- to succeed in Dutch workplaces, I would make sure that to be prepared through for meetings, communicate clearly, and follow agreed procedures. Long term, whether a culture focuses on future success or immediately results, Netherlands has much higher rate score, making it a programmative and a future-oriented um, society. Dutch organizations value long-term planning, sustainability, and continuing improvement. United States, on the other hand, is much shorter than short-term oriented and often focuses on achieving quick results and immediate performance. This means Dutch colleagues may spend more time planning and evaluating decisions because they are thinking about long term benefits rather than immediate outcomes. The final dimension is both countries have exactly the same score in this dimension. This means both culturally generally value personal freedom, enjoying life, and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. In Netherlands, this reflects through activities such as after-work social gathering, known as where colleagues strengthen professional relationships outside the office. Practicing these activities would help me build trust and integrity into my workplace more easily. Communication styles, although the Netherlands and the United States share several cultural similarities, their communication styles are quite different. Dutch communication styles are known for being direct, honest, and straightforward. Feedback is usually given openly, and intentions to provide ideas rather than criticize individuals. American communication tends to be more diplomatic, often use position language before offering criticism. Dutch meetings are highly collaborative with employees at every level, encouraging to be collab ideas, understanding the difference with helping me avoid misunderstanding direct feedback as being rude and disrespectful. Real life workplace scenarios. These examples demonstrate how cultural differences appear in in everyday work situations. For example, a Dutch colleague may openly point out weaknesses in an idea during a meeting because improving the project is considered more important than protecting someone's feelings. Decision making often involves discussions and a continuous feedback, talking, and final conclusion. Social events such as Friday afternoon and are also important because they help employees build trust and strengthen their work relationship. And by understanding the situation beforehand, I would be better prepared to adapt to Dutch workplace. Effectively communications with Dutch colleagues based on the cultural dimension. There are several strategies I would use while I work with the Dutch colleague. First, I would communicate honestly and directly while remaining respectful. And second, I would actively participate in meetings and contribute my ideas confidently. And third, I would be open to receive direct feedback and then use it as an opportunity to improve instead of taking it personal. Finally, I would expect a Dutch organization and a collaboration, and I like the work-life balance there. By adapting my communication skills to these cultural expectations, I would be able to build a stronger relationship and work more effectively during my internship. Conclusion. Understanding how culture influences communication and workplace behavior, although the Netherlands and United States share the same share values such as equality and individuals, they differ slightly in areas such as long-term planning and communication styles. Thank you, and I hope you understood. And thank you for taking your time. And I would be grateful to answer any more questions.